Welcome back, YouTube. This is JD here. I'm doing my series of top 15 quarterbacks in the league, um, and I'm down to my last five. Um, Obviously, there's some controversy here, but whatever. This is my opinion. You can have yours. Number 11 is Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco. The reason why he's number 11, and I could put him higher if I thought hard enough about it, but he's on a team that is very consistent. Okay, for example, he's on the Ravens. They have a decent passing game, a decent running game. I would say a little higher than decent, a good running game, and a good, if not good, decent, if not good, defensive team. Okay, so everything on that team is pretty sound for the most part. So that's why I have him on there. He's going to be a part of a decent team, and all they have to do is get to the playoffs. And for some reason, when you get to the playoffs, Flacco just happens to play really well. The year he won the Super Bowl, I think he was 16 touchdowns and 1 interception. Last year, I think he was 6 touchdowns, only 1 or 2 interceptions. That's a very good ratio to have in the playoffs. He had a QBR, I think it was 80 something. Very good in the playoffs. You don't usually see that in the playoffs very often. So Flacco, you can say what you want about him, but if that team gets to the playoffs, he goes to another level. Now I heard someone tell me that everyone around him steps up. I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but still, I mean, if that's the case, how does everyone around him step up and play better? For example, if someone runs a route and he throws it, and the guy drops it, is that Joe Flacco's fault? Or if guys aren't playing hard and Joe Flacco can't find anyone open, is that really his fault? Or they just turn it on in the playoffs? I just think he when the pressure's on, he just plays better. And I mean, yeah, he should play like that all the time, in all honesty, in all fairness. But you know what? Playoffs do matter more than the regular season, and he steps up. He plays really well in the playoffs. You can say what you want. Look at the numbers. He plays very well in the playoffs. He might have had 1 year where he wasn't the greatest quarterback in the playoffs. One. But for the most part, he's very consistent in the playoffs. All right, number 12 is Matt Stafford. Now, I personally am not a fan of Matt Stafford. I think he's a product of having the jump ball king on his team in Megatron. But last year he showed a little something different. They have a new coach, and I can't think of his name. It's not Bruce Arians. It's someone like Bruce Arians. I just can't think of his name right now. He's good. He has structure. He's not like the coach they had before. He kind of let the inmates run the asylum. Let him swing the football as much as he wanted, let him go crazy with it. So Matt Stafford, I think he's starting to see a little bit more structure. And Megatron was hurt most of the year, and this team still made the playoffs. Do I think it was 100% Stafford? No. They had one of the best defenses in the league this year. And Fairley is gone, first thing. Dominic Sue gone. So your defensive line is going to be horrible. You're going to start giving up running yards again. So I don't think Stafford is horrible. I just don't like him. He's a product of a jump ball king. Now last year, obviously, Megatron was injured, and Stafford showed up in the playoffs. He played very well in the playoffs. And he showed up in regular season when he didn't have Megatron, when he had to throw the Golden Tate, when he had to throw the Pettigrew. So, and you got the coaching also is helping him because they balance it more. They're running the ball with George Bell a lot more. George Bell's a good runner. As my friend Chad says, he loves getting George Bell on his fantasy team every year. So that's my number 12. And wow, my light just turned on. It's been off for like the last 3 days. I thought the light blew. That's crazy. Anyway, number 13 is Alex Smith. Alex Smith, Alex Smith, let's just put it this way. He was improving with San Francisco. They had receivers, they had a good running game, a good defense. And he proved that he can be a good quarterback. Then he goes to Kansas City. And I personally like Kansas City, I like their coach. And they don't have receivers. Now you can say what you want, you gotta make all receivers good. That's what Tom Brady does. Not everyone's Tom Brady. Okay? I think he'll get better this year because he can actually have receivers and some kind of vertical threat. For example, he has Jeremy Maclin and I'm 90% certain they drafted a receiver or two. That'll help. Plus, you got their tight ends, and you have the best running tandem in the league not Kelson Fasano. That's a tight end. It's Kelson Fasano. You have Niles Davis, and you have Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles is top 5 in the league running. Niles Davis is probably the best backup in the league by far. So that is why I think Alex Smith will do better. He is on a team with a good coach, and he gets a bad rap for being a game manager. He has to be a game manager when he doesn't have a receiver stuff. Dwayne Bowe is his only real receiver. And Dwayne Bowe, in my opinion, is a bum. He was horrible last year. I drafted him late in fantasy football, and he never did anything for me. So I think Alex Smith will have a better year because he has a vertical threat in Jeremy Maclin, and Jeremy Maclin can run. That'll open up the field for his tight ends. And whatever the other rookie they got, I think it's just going to help him. You can't crowd the box or crowd the line of scrimmage on him anymore. They're going to have to back up for that vertical threat. The running game's going to get better. And it's gonna snowball effect into getting him to be getting him more passing yards, more passing touchdowns, and get him in a better rhythm. So number 14 is Cam Newton. I personally am not a huge fan of Cam Newton. I'm not going to try to argue that point. I'm not a fan of Cam Newton. After his first 2 games in the league, where he threw like 400 yards first 2, he hasn't done anything much since. Now, in fairness to him, he doesn't exactly have. Last year, he didn't have any receivers except for Kelvin Benjamin. I think he had a tight end. They got rid of all of his weapons. They got rid of Steve Smith. They got rid of everything. So that's not exactly his fault. He does seem to show up pretty well in like tight situations. And if anything else, he's in one of the worst divisions in football. All the southern divisions and the NFC South, the AFC South are just god awful. So he has the benefit of being in the worst division in the NFL. Worst divisions. The best division in the South is the SEC from college. So he has that benefit. He's a pretty good mobile quarterback, but I'm just as a quarter, I personally just don't. I just personally don't like it. I'm not trying to downgrade the guy. He's very talented. I just personally don't like the guy. That's all I'm trying to say. Number 15, and there's going to be controversy behind this, is RG3. The reason why RG3 is here, and I have a lot of evidence to back this up. First off, as an RG3 fan, RG3, I grade him by his rookie year, and I think that is the potential he could be, if not even better than that. Okay? So that's how I grade RG3, by his rookie year. If he returns to rookie year form, he's going to be very good this year. He'll go for 4,000 yards. He won't go over 5,000. The team's not, they'll run the ball too much for that. But he'll go over 4,000 yards. He'll get about 30 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. 30 plus touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That's what I think he could do. Now, he has a solid running game. 2 good running backs now. Okay? Alfred Morris, and they signed Matt Jones. Last year, they couldn't run the ball very much because they were down so much in every game. The defense couldn't stop anyone. Their defense got a little better. Okay? Defense got a little better, got a little stronger. They beefed up that front line with Pot Roast and Pia, I don't know how to pronounce his name. They strengthened the back end with Goldston and Culliver and Jenkins. So they've strengthened parts of their team. Their offensive line has gotten better. Okay, that was a big issue last year. He got sacked like 9 times against the Texans. First game of the season. Okay? What needs to happen is that offensive line, they drafted 2 guys that are really good. They signed Bill Callahan, who's an offensive line's coach, and look what he did with Dallas. I mean, Dallas does have the talent, but I think the right scheme and the right mind could make that line a lot better. And you give him some time, he can go through his progressions. He can go through his reads. Okay? So those are things that you got to factor in. I'm factoring in. And his receiving core is still pretty good. He has Jordan Reed. He has Niles Paul, which I personally don't like Niles Paul, but he doesn't do bad. He has Young as a fullback / tight end. He can catch the ball. He can run it. You have Alfred Morris and I think Matt Jones can catch the ball. Pierre Garcon, Jackson. So you have guys that can help and catch the ball, so on and so forth. I like that. He just has to put it all together. This is his last year. This is last year. He needs to put it together and prove that he's a franchise quarterback. If he does what I said, if all those things improve, now I'm not saying they need to go undefeated, but if they get to like 8-8, or they get 9-7, or if we come on hot and we get like 10-6, yeah, RG3 is a long-term answer. Now obviously he's been injured, he has to stay healthy. If he stays healthy the whole season, we'll get to see his potential. Okay, it's hard, it's rocky, and if you compare him to other guys here, if you compare him to Andrew Luck, Andrew Luck's had the same coach for 3 years, same offensive coordinator, same scheme. Okay, RG3 is not. He's had things change year to year. So that's my opinion on that. Now there's 3 honorable mentions. Tannehill, I just don't like Tannehill personally. I think he's gotten better every year, but I think it's very skewed. Like he gets behind in games and it makes it easier to throw. That's my opinion on Tannehill. He couldn't make Mike Wallace like a really good quarterback or receiver. Now that might be what Mike Wallace's fault too. So I'm not going to just hold everything on Tannehill. But it's just Miami just seems to have some kind of black cat running around the organization. They look like they're going to be good, and then something happens. That's all I'm trying to say. Jay Cutler can make every throw on the football field, just like Peyton Manning, just like Tom Brady, just like Andrew Luck. His issue is he doesn't study film. He doesn't care. I don't think he cares what he screws up. He gets paid $20 million a year anyway. That might be exaggerated. I think it's like 15 or something, but he gets paid his money regardless. So why does he care? He's loaded with talent, and he should be a lot better. So, adding Kevin White, I'm curious to see how Kevin White plays out. I'm a big West Virginia fan, so curious to see how that plays out. He's got a different coach this year, John Fox. John Fox will help him improve, and here's why. John Fox will run the ball. Matt Forte, which I love him in fantasy, and I'll probably get him again this year if I can. Matt Forte is going to be a much improved player this year, and they're going to get him the ball a lot more. Last quarterback I want to give honorable mention to is a quarterback I personally don't like. Again, is Andy Dalton. Does he play good every year? Sure. He plays good for the most part until you put the bright lights on him, and then he chokes. He has a good receiving corps. He has a good running game. He has one of the best defenses in the league backing him up. Why can't he just be successful? He has his moments where he'll throw like 5 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns. Then the next game he'll stink it up and be like 1 for 12 or something, and 3 interceptions or whatever the case may be. Now, what do I personally think that is? I don't think he's a horrible quarterback. I think it's the system he's in. You have a coach that it's okay to be mediocre. That's the best way I can describe that. It's okay if you're under Marvin Lewis to be mediocre, because he's mediocre. He's been coaching for 12 years and he has 0 playoff wins. He has less playoff wins as a coach than Tim Tebow does as a player. Okay, Tim Tebow's only played 2 games. Okay, why would you keep a guy that long? You could probably put another coach in there. You could turn it around and you could be successful. And Andy Dalton would probably be top 10 on my list. He has all the abilities. He can throw the ball. He's got a good arm. On the Red Rifle for a reason. The Red Rocket, I don't know, one of those 2. So that's my little tirade about that. That is my top 15. So the review: Rodgers, Brady, Luck, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tony Romo, Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Philip Rivers, Joe Flacco, Matt Stafford, Steve Smith, Cam Newton, and RG3. Okay? Then I have my 3 honorable mentions here. So enjoy the video. I'm going to make it as a playlist if you want to watch them straight through. I didn't want to put them all in one video. I did that actually last night. I put them all in one video straight through. First off, I yawned a lot, so that's why I got rid of it. It was at like 3 in the morning. And second of all, it ended up being about 28 minutes long. I don't think anyone wants to watch that. They might want to watch each part or individually. Or if you want to watch it all the way through, that's fine. I'll make a playlist. but I wasn't going to push you that. So I'm at 15 minutes, so see ya.